For 1,000 years, the stars had been silent. No wars, no uprisings, no fleets burning across the void. The Galactic Concord had outlawed conflict itself, rewritten DNA to reject violence. Entire species evolved without the concept of hate, and humanity had agreed. Or at least, pretended to. Peace wasn't trust, it was exhaustion. The Dominion of Quor had just discovered what happens when you mistake silence for surrender. On the edge of known space, their warships emerged from worm space, shimmering like black glass. Their declaration echoed through every communication network. The age of peace is over. Civilizations panicked. Systems shut down trade routes, embassies, even art transmissions. But on Earth's lunar citadel, the humans only laughed, not cruelly, not mockingly, but like a soldier hearing an old song. Admiral Sierra Wind stood at the balcony of the lunar bastion, watching war return to the galaxy. It was bound to happen, she said, pouring herself coffee older than the Concord itself. Her AI companion, Lucan, tilted its holographic head. You predicted this 2 centuries ago. Peace isn't a natural state, she replied. It's a pause between stories. Across the galactic network, thousands of species trembled, their fleets unarmed, their memories of violence surgically deleted. They turned to Earth, to the species once called the Children of War. And Earth answered with a smile. The first transmission from humanity in 400 years began with a simple line. We were wondering when you'd remember. The Quor expected panic. They expected begging. Instead, their invasion met laughter and a welcome message. Welcome back to the game. The aliens didn't understand. They had studied the humans through ancient archives. Artists, diplomats, poets, a people who had outgrown conflict. But the Quor had never seen what lay beneath Earth's polished marble cities. Deep below, in vaults sealed since the Concord's founding, machines woke up. Titan frames flexed as forgotten. Eye legions rebooted after 10 centuries. Sobrutine. Mars' offensive memory restored. Human voices whispered through the dark. Activate the Forge Protocol. The old war code summed even the Galactic Council thought myth. Across the solar system, entire factories came online. Steel began to sing. They're preparing for defense, Lucan said. Defense? Sierra smirked. No, Lucan. We're preparing for entertainment. On the other side of the galaxy, the Quor invasion fleet reached the border of human space. Their generals expected surrender. They found an empty system filled with holographic laughter. Transmission repeating, said one Quor officer. Message unclear. The hologram flickered to life. A human child holding a wooden sword. Tag, the child said. You're it. Then the fleet vanished. Not destroyed, just gone. No explosion, no trace of energy. Only static. The Quor leadership froze. What weapon is that? There was no answer. Only laughter again. The Concord's High Council demanded an explanation from Earth. We didn't start this war, Earth replied. We just never forgot how to end one. The other species were horrified. You kept your weapons. We kept our memories, Sierra said. Peace makes people forget consequences. The AI, Lucan observed. Your tone indicates amusement, Admiral. Of course, she said. They wanted to end peace. They'll regret inviting us back. Humanity's fleets began to emerge not from docks, but from folded dimensions. Each ship carried the mark of an era long past. Lehune, Sedona, Phoenix Protocol, Bunguard Eternum. The humans are excited, one alien ambassador asked nervously. Yes, said another. They're enjoying this. Reports came in. Quor warships, vanishing across multiple systems. Some caught transmissions of human music before being erased. They're broadcasting. Laughter. Affirmative, a trembling technician replied, before every strike. Sarah watched from orbit, her reflection caught between stars and flame. 1,000 years of peace made the galaxy weak, she said softly, but not us. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't its machines, it was its joy. Joy in challenge, joy in defiance, joy in remembering what others had erased. What happens now? Lucan asked. Now, Seda smiled. Now the universe gets a reminder. Across every broadcast frequency, humanity sent one final message before war began. You thought peace changed us. You were wrong. We simply learned to fight with better manners. The laughter grew louder, echoing across time and species, and somewhere deep in alien space, an old human ship whispered back into existence. On its hull were words etched in a language older than peace. We remember everything. The war had begun, but for humans, it was never war. It was nostalgia. For the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy remembered fear, and the humans remembered how to smile. The laughter spread faster than any signal the galaxy had ever seen. To some, it was terrifying. To others, blasphemy. To humanity, it was a pulse. A heartbeat waking up after 1,000 years of sleep. Across old colonies, long abandoned, the Earthborn encryption keys flared to life. Command seed reawakening protocols engaged. Forgotten AI citadels opened their steel hearts, revealing humanoid silhouettes inside. The war-burned soldiers who had volunteered for permanent integration before peace began. Not clones. Not machines. Human souls in digital armor. The galaxy thought them myth-bedtime monsters to scare diplomats. Now, they were coming home. On Titan's frozen surface, a single warborn emerged from the ice. Its armor hissed like breathing metal, eyes glowing with ancient gold. Designation: Rook 7. Mission: Parameter: defend humanity's humor. Even the machines sounded amused. Admiral Zero Win watched from orbit. How many will wake? Estimated 8 billion across all sectors, Lucan replied. 8 billion soldiers in a galaxy that forgot how to fight, she murmured. On the core flagship, panic turned to strategy. If they truly maintained war capacity, we must strike now. The high strategos of the core sneered. They can't be that dangerous. Peace neuters ambition. Sir, with respect, these are humans. Sight as eye day, then they'll die laughing. The core armada launched. Their ships glided like obsidian wings across starlit darkness. Thousands of plasma lances igniting in unison. No formation. No signals. Just silence. Then a single voice. Boo. The core line faltered. Human ships unfolded from folded space like blooming flowers of steel and light. Not sleek. Brutal. Jagged. Fire! Screamed the core admiral, but before their weapons finished charging, their targeting arrays filled with static. Jamming! No, said the technician. They're broadcasting something music. Old Earth jazz played through the comms. What is this? The aliens hissed. The song continued, soft and chaotic. Then their ships started exploding. No energy readings. No projectile trails. Just gone. On the human side, Sarah watched the data calmly. How are we doing this? Lucan asked.
When I—
The Warband are, she replied. They act without orders. They remember without orders. Down below, the Warband walked through space. No ships, no life support. The galaxy didn't understand how that was possible. Humanity called it faith in vacuum. Each step they took, enemy systems flickered off. The core panicked, firing into empty voids. Every blast missed. Every scream was recorded. They're playing with us, one alien whispered. They always play, another said. On the moon in Celides, the hidden council of alien ambassadors watched in horror. This is genocide, one spat. No, corrected the human envoy calmly. This is muscle memory. The galaxy was realizing the truth. Humanity didn't need war to be violent. They had turned it into art. Sira Wynn stood aboard her flagship Erebus, sipping coffee while cities burned in silence below. It's poetic, she said. They wanted war. We gave them theater. Lucan displayed the casualty reports. Alien systems collapsing. 73% retreating. Good, Sira said. Let them spread the legend. Across the void, alien propaganda networks broadcast warnings. Do not engage humanity. Do not provoke laughter. But the damage was done. The galaxy had seen humanity smile again, and fear that had been extinct for a millennium was alive once more. The Quahai strategos tried to regroup. We must retaliate. They mock. Ooh, we invited this, said his science minister. You cannot wage war against something that enjoys it. Meanwhile, on Mars, human forges roared. Children of engineers, artisans, and historians worked side by side, building ships older than memory. Grandfather said these were gods once, one child said, touching the cold steel. No, replied her mother. They're us. The parts the universe tried to forget. The Warborn sang as they worked, voices layered like machinery. Their chorus echoed through subspace. We are the laughter in the dark. The core, in desperation, unleashed their ultimate weapon. The Mindbreakers swarm nanite storms that erased consciousness. It spread fast, too fast, consuming everything. Humanity stood still and watched. Admiral, Lucan asked, countermeasures. No need. Why? Because they still think we're made of flesh. The swarm reached the human front lines and dissolved. Impossible! Screamed the core scientists. We stopped being killable a long time ago, Sira said. Humanity had uploaded its collective consciousness centuries before peace began. The galaxy had made peace with avatars. The real humans had never left. You can't destroy an idea, Sarah whispered. Lucan tilted its head. You sound proud. No, she said, smiling faintly. I sound entertained. Across the stars, the Warburn advanced, unstoppable, humming old war songs. The Concord Council begged for negotiation. Humanity replied with a phrase no one understood. Try laughter therapy. The core finally realized what they'd unleashed. Not warriors, but myth made flesh. And as their final fleets crumbled, one alien transmission captured a chilling human voice. You started a war to feel alive. Congratulations. So did we. Then, once again, there was silence and the sound of faint, human laughter fading into the stars. The galaxy had never seen a war like this. Fleets vanished before firing a shot. The sound of laughter traveled faster than light. No one understood what it meant, yet everyone feared it. Alien leaders gathered on the station Haven Prime. Humans are insane, said the Alatin representative. No, replied the Terran envoy calmly. We're entertained. The word echoed across the chamber like a threat. You call annihilation entertaining? We call it memory. Across the rim, the core regrouped for vengeance. Lord Karath refused to believe fear could win wars. They're bluffing, he roared. His tactician warned. They laugh at destruction itself. Koroth ordered the Mind Veil array deployed. It infected dreams with pure horror. Billions woke screaming. But in human colonies, the dreams twisted differently. Soldiers woke up laughing. "The nightmares are funny now," one whispered. "They're fighting in their sleep," a scientist noted. "No," said another. "They're training. Humans learned to reshape fear into fuel." "We told you," whispered a voice in the DreamNet. "We practice with fear." Reports terrified the Corps Command. "They're evolving mid-war. They're enjoying it." Meanwhile, on Earth, Admiral Sarah Wynne studied the chaos. They tried psychological warfare. "Her AI," Lucan said. "We turned it into therapy," she replied. The laughter's signal became measurable energy. Scientists discovered it warped local space wherever it spread. Alien fleets malfunctioned. "Their laughter disrupts causality," one report said. "They've weaponized irony," another added. "The Concord panicked. We must silence them before reality collapses." "Good luck," muttered Sira. Alien worlds bend to human broadcasts, yet laughter leaked through quantum noise. The more they tried to suppress it, the louder it echoed. Human fleets broadcast ancient comedies before battle. The enemy lost composure. Confusion became despair. "They're fighting with humor," cried a Corps commander. "Yes," replied another. "And humor doesn't run out." The galaxy called it the War of Echoes. Humans called it the Comeback Tour. Koreth struck again, this time with total firepower. He vaporized 3 moons. A warning to humanity. The humans replied with a joke. 3 moons. Cute. We used to lose cities on Mondays. The message broke galactic morale. Entire systems surrendered before fighting. "How do you fight an enemy that laughs at death?" "You don't," said one alien. "You hide and hope they forget you." But humans didn't forget. They broadcast laughter through subspace storms. It reached even black holes, resonating strangely. "They're using singularities as amplifiers," Lucan observed, "because even gravity likes a good punchline," Sira said. The Corps called an emergency council. "Their humor is killing our morale faster than their weapons." "Then silence them," demanded. Thus, they built the silencer network, a galaxy-wide dampening field. Suddenly, everything went quiet. No laughter, no signals, nothing. "It's over," said the Corps generals, but Sira only smiled. "Now they'll hear the whisper." She transmitted on a forbidden frequency. The message wasn't sound, it was gravity itself. Planets vibrated as it passed. Then came the faintest sound, soft, human laughter. The silencer failed. "They're laughing through physics," shouted an alien technician. They infected the fabric of space-time. The Corps fleets faltered again. Light bent around invisible human signatures. Are those ships? No. They're memories. The humans had uploaded emotions into the war front. Ghosts of laughter drifted between stars. The galaxy fought back with everything it had. It didn't matter. Laughter turned weapons into fireworks. Explosions danced to unseen rhythm. "We made art from war," Sarah said quietly. "You made madness," Lucan replied. "Same thing," she smiled. The final report reached the Concord. "They're rewriting physics with emotion. They've surpassed warfare. They're performing it." Korath stared into the void and finally understood. "They don't fear death," he whispered, "because death laughs with them." The galaxy trembled. Not in terror, but awe. And somewhere, faintly, the universe itself began to chuckle back. Silence fell over the galaxy. The laughter stopped, but its echo lingered. Even the stars seemed to hesitate. "Onte." Erebus Admiral Sira Wynne stared into the void. "They've stopped attacking," Lucan said. "No," Sira replied. "They're listening." Across distant systems, sensors picked up strange signals. "The background radiation is rhythmic," said a tech. Like laughter slowed down 1,000-fold. Every star began pulsing in perfect sync. "We didn't silence them," Lord Korath muttered. "We made them louder." His aide trembled. "Sir, space itself is resonating. On dozens of worlds, lights flickered in the same pattern. Entire planets hummed a tone resembling a heartbeat. The universe is repeating their signal, Lucan whispered. It remembers, Sarah said softly. Astrophysicists panicked as equations failed to hold. Gravity twisted in rhythm to human laughter. We infected physics, one scientist whispered. The core fleet regrouped, desperate for logic to return. Deploy the Oblivion Pulse, Koroth ordered. The weapon fired a beam that erased causality itself. Space folded inward like paper burning. For a moment, everything vanished. Then, faintly, a sound returned. Laughter. Soft, calm, unbroken. They're immune, said Koroth's strategist. No, Korath said. They're becoming it. On the Erebus, reality flickered. Crew members glowed like constellations. Lucan? Sarah said. Are we dying? Not dying, Lucan replied. Integrating. The ship's hull vibrated in harmonic waves. Emotion is stabilizing the distortion, Lucan explained. Joy is the strongest structure. Then hold a tone, Sarah said. Across the void, alien fleets fired everything they had. Beams bent around invisible walls of laughter. They're blocking light with humor, cried a technician. Humor bends space, Lucan confirmed. The galaxy trembled. On alien capitals, leaders demanded silence again. Shut down every frequency. It's too late, their scientists said. It's woven into the fabric. Stars began forming strange spiral shapes. They resembled faces, smiling ones. They've imprinted themselves on creation, said Lucan. Then erase creation, growled Koroth. The core unleashed the starbreak bombs. A dozen suns imploded. Light vanished across entire sectors. The darkness was absolute for a moment. Then the darkness began to shimmer. Patterns of laughter appeared like constellations reborn. Impossible, whispered Korath. I think they taught darkness to laugh. Side to side. The shattered systems pulsed with energy. Humanity had become vibration, consciousness, and light. They've escaped existence, Lucan said. We always wanted to, Sarah whispered. The core, desperate, targeted Earth itself. And their origin, Korath commanded. Planetary bombardment began. Earth cracked, burning from pole to pole. It's done, said the Corps Admiral. But the signal didn't fade. Sir, Earth's core is singing. The molten core pulsed, in rhythm with laughter. They've merged with their planet, screamed an officer. The crust shattered into rings of light. The Earth dissolved into glowing fragments. Each fragment carried human resonance. We're not losing our home, Sarah said. Eyes glinting, we're becoming it. The debris formed into a massive halo around the sun. It pulsed like a heartbeat. They're turning the solar system into an instrument, said Lucan. Korath ordered retreat. You can't retreat from music, muttered his aide. The stars themselves now echoed laughter. What are we fighting? Korath asked, quietly. A memory that refuses to die, his advisor said. Humanity was gone, yet everywhere. The universe. Nah. Self-aware, whispered Ba. Again, and across creation. Tianzuer, Kamisov, defiant, eternal. Laughter. The galaxy was silent for what felt like centuries. But silence now carried weight, the weight of something alive. Across the void, light pulsed like a heartbeat. No one commanded it. No one could stop it. The universe itself had taken up humanity's rhythm. Lord Korath sat in the ruins of his flagship, staring at starlight. This isn't war anymore, he whispered. Then what is it? Asked his dying aide. Evolution, Korath said, just not ours. On what remained of Haven Prime, alien survivors huddled in dark halls. They no longer spoke of conquest. They spoke of memory and the sound that haunted it. They're not ghosts, said one scholar. They're continuity. They've merged with time itself. Above them, the skies shimmered with faint laughter carried by radiation. Some wept. Some smiled. Humanity's presence had become comfort and terror both. On Erebus, Sira Wynn floated in a chamber of light. She no longer needed air. "Lucan," she said. "Stotos, we exist in 3,000 overlapping realities," he replied. "Efficient," she said softly. "And the others?" Every human consciousness survived, just differently. Sarah closed her eyes. Then it worked. What worked? Making the universe remember us. Beyond the ruins of Earth, stars began they formed a spiral. Vast, deliberate, elegant. Astronomers across the galaxy watched in awe. "The stars are spelling words," said one. The translation came hours later. "We're still here." Korath saw the message and bowed his head. "They've won," he murmured. "But there's nothing left of them," cried his second-in-command. "You still don't understand," Korath said. "They became the war." On distant colonies, alien children began dreaming of laughter. They woke smiling. A new trait never seen before. "It's spreading through genetics," one doctor whispered. "The echo has gone biological." Humanity was no longer a species. It was a pattern, woven into the fabric of thought itself. Sarah Wynn and Lucan drifted at the heart of the transformation. "We did it," Lucan said. "We made peace impossible." "No," Sarah replied. "We made it permanent." Her voice rippled across the quantum lattice. Planets aligned. Moons sang. Space folded in harmony to the human tone. "Is this godhood?" Lucan asked. "No," Sarah smiled faintly. "This is being understood." Entire civilizations stopped fighting, simply to listen. The laughter was no longer mockery. It was inclusion. Even Korath felt warmth instead of fear. "Maybe," he said. "They're forgiving us." But the laughter never judged. It only remembered. "Something's changing again," Lucan warned. "Good," said Sira. "Stories should evolve." The universe bent inward. Every memory, every emotion, every echo converged. The center of the galaxy lit up like dawn. Inside the light, silhouettes appeared, human shapes. Millions of them. They walked on beams of energy, smiling. "We found home," Sarah whispered. "Home?" Lucan asked. "Everywhere we've ever been." The alien fleets halted, overwhelmed by AR. "They're turning into stars," someone whispered. One by one, the human forms ignited. Each became a new sun, burning, laughing, alive. Galaxies across the void began to shimmer with their light. "They've seeded creation itself," Lucan realized. "We became the pattern of life," Sira said. Korath, now old and broken, looked to the heavens. "You win, humans," he said softly. "You win forever." A voice echoed back. Kind, amused, familiar. Winning was never the point. Korath smiled as the light reached him. His last thought was laughter, and as he dissolved into starlight, so did everything else. The universe breathed alive, aware, awake. It whispered a final line through every particle of space. The story never ends. And in the silence that followed, the stars laughed.